Hello and welcome back to Typical Monk. Today, we tell the biggest story of all evolution. From the very first cell to the modern human, how life began, how we know it changed, and the one equation NEET truly loves. All of it explained, simply, and drilled the NEET way, one idea at a time. Here is today's path 5 milestones. First, how life may have originated on Earth. Second, the evidences that prove evolution. Third, Lamarck versus Darwin. Fourth, the Hardy-Weinberg principle. And fifth, the path of human evolution. The first question, how did life begin? Look at this figure, the Miller and Urey experiment. Oparin and Haldane said the first life arose from non-living organic molecules. This is called chemical evolution. The early Earth had a reducing atmosphere, methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and water vapor, but no free oxygen. Miller and Urey passed electric sparks through these berry gases and formed amino acids, the building blocks of life. The first cellular life was a single-cell prokaryote, about 3.5 billion years ago. Now let us see how we know evolution really happened. First, fossils. Remains found in rocks of different ages show that life forms changed over time. This is paleontology. Second, homologous organs. Same basic structure, but different function, like a whale's flipper, a bat's wing, and a human arm. This is a sign of common ancestry, that is, divergent evolution. Third, analogous organs. Different structure, but the same function, like a butterfly wing and a bird wing. This is a sign of convergent evolution. Fourth, natural selection right before our eyes. In industrial England, on soot-covered walls, the peppered moth turned dark. This is called industrial melanism. Now the two big theories. Lamarck said, the use and disuse of organs and the inheritance of acquired characters. The giraffe stretched its neck to reach the leaves and passed that long neck to the next generation. This idea is now rejected. Characters gained in a lifetime are not inherited. Darwin said, natural selection, more are born than can survive. Those with useful heritable variation survive and reproduce. Fitness means reproductive success. Generation after generation, favorable variations accumulate and new species arise. This is called branching descent. Now the most frequently asked part, the Hardy-Weinberg principle. In a stable population, allele frequencies stay constant across generations. This is called genetic equilibrium. If P and Q are the allele frequencies, then P plus Q equals 1, and the genotypes follow P squared plus 2PQ plus squared equals 1. 5 factors disturb this balance: gene migration, genetic drift, mutation, recombination, and natural selection. If the balance is disturbed, it means evolution is happening. A sudden drift in a small founder group is called the founder effect. Now, the journey to the human. Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus. Ape-like primates. Dryopithecus was more ape-like, Ramapithecus more man-like. Australopithecus lived in the East African grasslands, walked upright, and hunted with stone weapons. Homo habilis, with a brain of about 650 to 800 and then Homo erectus, about 900 c, who ate meat. The Neanderthal human, with a brain of about 1400 CT. And finally Homo sapiens, who arose in Africa. Now the points that NEET asks directly. First, Miller and Urey made amino acids from methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and water vapor. This is proof of chemical evolution. Second, homologous means common ancestry, divergent evolution. Analogous means convergent evolution. Third, Lamarck gave the inheritance of acquired characters, which is rejected. Darwin gave natural selection. Fourth, Hardy-Weinberg, P squared plus 2PQ plus Q squared equals 1. A disturbed balance means evolution. Fifth, the brain size grew, Homo habilis, then erectus, then Neanderthal, at about 1400 cc. Now assertion and reason. The options A, B, and D are given above. Keep them in mind. First, assertion. Analogous organs are evidence of convergent evolution. A reason. They have different structures, but perform the same function. Both are true, and the reason explains the assertion. The answer is A. Second, assertion: acquired characters are passed to the next generation. Reason: Darwin proposed natural selection as the mechanism of evolution. The assertion is false. The reason is true. The answer is D. Third, assertion: a disturbed Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium indicates evolution. Reason: factors like genetic drift and selection change allele frequencies. Both are true, and the reason explains the assertion. The answer is A. Now match the column. Miller and Urey: amino acids from a spark. Homologous organs, divergent evolution. Inheritance of acquired characters. Lamarck. P plus Q equals 1, Hardy-Weinberg. Now count how many statements are correct. First, the wings of a butterfly and a bird are analogous organs. This is correct. Second, Darwin proposed the inheritance of acquired characters. This is wrong. It was Lamarck's idea. Third, genetic drift is a factor that disturbs Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. This is correct. So the correct statements are two, that is, the first and the third. Now the mistakes to avoid. Myth: homologous and analogous organs mean the same thing. Truth: homologous is common ancestry. Divergent and analogous is the same function. Convergent. Myth: a muscle built up in a lifetime is passed to the offspring. Truth: acquired characters are not inherited. Lamarck's idea is rejected. Now, test yourself. Answer before the reveal. That is how NEET Recall is built. Get ready. First, who made amino acids from the spark experiment? Answer: Miller and Urey. Second, the wings of a butterfly and a bird are what? Answer: analogous. Third, who gave the inheritance of acquired characters? Answer: Lamarck. Fourth, the Hardy-Weinberg equation? Answer: p squared plus 2pq plus q squared equals 1. Fifth, the Neanderthal brain size? Answer: about 1400 cc. The whole chapter in one breath. Life arose by chemical evolution. Miller and Urey made amino acids from a reducing atmosphere. Fossils, homologous and analogous organs, and the peppered moth are all evidences. Lamarck, which is rejected, versus Darwin, that is, natural selection. Hardy-Weinberg, p squared plus 2 pq plus q squared equals 1. A disturbed balance means evolution. The human line: Australopithecus, Homo habilis, erectus, Neanderthal, and Homo sapiens. Next class: human health and disease, that is, immunity, pathogens, and much more. You have just traced 4 billion years of life in a single class. One idea at a time, you will surely crack NEET. Stay with Typical Monk.